I will show you a part of my online lessons with one of my students. We'll talk about ideation, because ideation cannot be the same for every single project. It depends the type of briefing and projects you have. So in this case, you will see during the video, we have a briefing that is about a new mobile device that will be fully electric, driverless, so autonomous driving, only for 4 or 5 people, that will not go faster than 20 kilometers an hour, only in town, to make sure that we can go from point A to point B within, I would say, 10 kilometers the most, okay? From really downtown to the border of the town. So when we already think about all the little information I gave you, you understand that we are not talking about a small city car, but we are talking about something else. Now, if you go and make a research on Google about future transportation, mobility, only for 2 people, 4 people, fully electric, or alternative technology and stuff, you will find a lot of interesting projects, especially done in some design schools, by students or by teams made of students. So in this particular video, you will see me interacting with my student, and here you will discover how I try to orientate the creativity and the exploration, the ideation of this young student that, of course, at the beginning made just a simple new city car restyling. So I explained to him that that was not exactly the right approach, and here I explain why, and I give some examples. Take a look. When we start making something that is really alternative to the conventional car design approach, because it's not a real car we are making, but rather a sort of a mini, ultra mini bus, okay? We have to answer to certain questions to make sure that what we do, it's respecting the briefing, the given briefing. So the first question I ask is, can we have those people standing up, or should we have those people inside always sitting down? Or can we have a mix between people that are sitting down and people that are standing up? You know, that's the first thing. So to think of, okay? The second thing is, because we have no dashboard and no steering wheel, we can use the front to sit people. I mean, we gain some space, right? Okay, so if we gain some space, then we need a different approach about the front windshield, because we need to put the head of people there. Okay, so that's a second reflection, okay? Second thoughts. Now, the third one is, do we need a windshield? Do we need a back window? Yeah, why? Because when people are in a bus, I'm sure not everybody needs to watch or to look at the steering wheel or the driver or the windshield. Everybody are reading books or talking to other people. Maybe it's more important the side glass, because you can see the town. You know, it's like you are inside the town environment, but you don't care whether you can see from the back window of the bus or from the front windshield. So what is important is to imagine what type of life those people will have inside the mobile device, even if it's for a few minutes or for 10 minutes maxi, because this is an in-town, moving device. All right, so once we think about those things, we realize that everything we will draw or will try to create, it really doesn't have anything to do with a city car. Because a city car becomes right away completely off subject when we try to answer to the questions that I am asking now. So look what I do. So if a city car, like you did, it's something that basically, can be summarized like something like this. You know, in our case, we have to think differently. So instead of making the wheels, I would start already to look for shapes, trying to find a shape that has a direction. So first of all, if I do this and I do that, then I can have even smaller wheels to the four corners of the vehicle. I can imagine that four people will stay there. They can stay standing up, they can be sitting down. If I have to think about seats, I will use all the shape I have here and here, and maybe in the front also, to have one person sitting like this, another one sitting like that, and the other one, two, maybe are in the front. You see? You see? This is just very schematic so that we can understand more or less what we are really working for. Yeah, this is a side, yes. And now I did this like this, but we can imagine it is just like a toaster, bread toaster. We'll talk about the design later on. Now we are working more on architecture. And this is the architecture of our product. So it's called product architecture, okay? And then if we keep on working like that, and we are, as I said, we are in a brainstorming stage, okay? So we are doing brainstorming, which means that we can draw anything we want. Who cares if it's stupid, idiots, intelligent? The most important thing during the brainstorming is to crash ideas. I write here, crash ideas. Because when we crash ideas, our creativity starts working. And the creativity, our creativity will take different type of directions, and we don't care. The objective is really to feel cool, to have fun, and just draw more or less in that proportions, knowing that we have 4 people or 5 people to put in there, that this is an EV, we can put notes, 5 people max, okay? Then we know that this is only for the town, okay? We know that this is autonomous driving. Those are notes, we know that it's very important that we have some glass area, some transparency. We know that the windshield is not important, no windshield, okay? For example. So we are playing, we jungle with all this stuff. Okay, so this is our first, it's the very beginning, the way we start talking, start thinking about this project, and we immediately understand that this one, it's not right. It's too much of a car, it's too much like today's restyling or heavy restyling. We have always the four wheels, a door, a windshield that's very aerodynamic. Even if you put it more vertical, we have a back that is can be an hatchback to put the luggage. We don't need all this. We don't have the engine. We don't have a classical transmission. So there are a lot of things that change, a lot of parameters. So now I take my pencil, just a second, and thinking of all this stuff, okay, I start making little sketches. So I put this line, it's like the ground line, okay? I start like this because I always start from a side view. For me, it's very important, maybe because I'm Italian, but for me, the side view is fundamental. And after I look around the side view. So, what if I have things like that? Then I put another line, and then I can do something that is like this. You see, when you do things like that, then immediately you are projecting into another world, another approach. You know, because you have also to imagine the town of tomorrow. Then you can have a wheel here, another one here. Here we don't see the wheels. Here too, we don't see them. Now I'm asking, for sure you are asking why I did that. Because you can put people standing up completely. You know? And this little thing will move, And here you put everybody sitting down because it's lower, you see? And then why did I do that? I don't know. To be honest, I don't know. Maybe there is a light coming from here, and in this area here, we have all the mechanic, like the electric engine, stuff like that. And therefore, we have this compartment inside that is completely empty, like your room, where you are now. Imagine you take everything off, and you can put only chairs, you know? Then immediately you have a big space, even if it's small. So this is, can be one approach. Then there is another thing we have to imagine. What is the level of the rocker panel? I would say it should be low. Why? Because if there is somebody with a wheelchair, then it will be very easy to put to have this little thing, the ramp, so that the wheelchair can go in. You see? So as you can see, I'm still in the brainstorming. Yeah, I'm still thinking, and then maybe I want to just make an interesting background so that I can complete my sketch. And maybe I'm thinking this sketch will go into my portfolio about this project. So I take care of that project. And therefore, also this little sketch that is just a very early stage sketch, I try to take care of it. So you see, now that I doing that, and let's say that I like this one, not sure, but on this one, I'll do a little bit of extra sketching, I'll put some detailing. You see? So little by little, compared to this beginning, you can see that we already made a step up. Now we have 1, 2, 3, 4 ideas. So let's suppose that after several studies like this one, I pick up this one. I know that this is a little awkward, it's a little strange. Maybe I should do something like this, you see? It's already better. It was too pointy. Now, this is just aesthetics. It's not the real design. But it's important also. So let's suppose I take this one. I put it here in front of me. Okay. I make and I try to make I look at it, okay? And I try to make my first perspective, I try to go around the object now, okay? And let's see what happens. At the moment, I will be just very basic, okay, in my sections. I just want to try to replicate as much as possible, what I've done before. You see, I'm making this 3/4 front, very easy perspective. With small wheels, we said. Maybe more like that. Okay, so I take it off. I check it from the back to make sure that I'm not doing anything that looks really strange. All right. Okay, so now that I have done that, I'll try to take it a little bit more to make sure that my proportions are improved. You see, I really try to be more careful. And here I make a little change because I didn't like that proportion there. So and I don't want to see the wheels. So this one has a full disc, that is attached to the wheel. So it will move, of course, because that's a turn, but it will look like it's part of the body. And the back one will be completely hidden, like that. You see? So if the top, we say that the top has a glass, the side we need a glass, okay? Then we can imagine, you know, something that is a little bit more poetic on the side, a little bit like you were trying to do with your with your belt line, and we can imagine to do something like that. you know, put this type of structure, you know, that goes on top. So the top is all glass, like it's a capsule, you know. Okay. Then we know that here we will have an opening, okay? Here too. We know that if this is glass, we will have a sort of, this is a big cylinder, you see? So we have that reflection. Okay, let's go and make a little bit of shading. So I start to understand materials and things, which will be easier for me to understand what I'm doing. Let's say that this is in shadow, like this one. And then this top, it's almost like a small windshield, you know? Like that. Here we can put a little bit of transparency of the vertical structure. Okay, and now we know that this thing, you know, must have also some light, something, because when it moves, it has to, at night, people must see it. So maybe we do something very vertical, like this, you know? So I'll just, you see, that's enough. And then because we know that there is electric engine, we said in the front area, maybe here we need some inference, air intake. So here we must put something, you know, to make sure that the air can go inside. And that's just the beginning, you know. So this is the type of design approach to those type of projects, you know, because new mobility, it sounds easy. In reality, it's a little bit more complicated. It's not just a block, you know, moving on wheels. It has to respond to a lot of requests or lots of demands, and briefing usually are not that easy to follow. So, did you understand the demo I made for you? Okay, so what I think we should do now, I mean, what you should do, you should try to go to step in this type of research a couple of times, then we'll pick up one or two, and then we will start, you know, putting this, and then look what I can do. Look what I can do. I can show, you know, how wide it is. You see, with the little wheels in the back. In the back, we can have also this type of top glass, okay? And then, why not, in this case, make a horizontal or, again, vertical backlight, just to make them different, you know? Then you see, every sketch, you can make it look like a real nice sketch that you can keep in your portfolio. And then if you want, we can put down here, you know, the ramp for the wheelchair. You know, going in. You see? Okay, good. So let's try. Now it's your turn.